The University of Queensland looks like a stooge of the Chinese Communist Party. That's the startling accusation of one of its own students, DrewPavlou. Last week, we reported how the 21-year-old was attacked by Chinese communist thugs when he staged a pro-democracy rally on campus. But instead of cracking down on that violent mob, the university threw the book at Drew. Our story enraged federal MP Bob Katter so much, he's now demanding a parliamentary inquiry into foreign interference at Australian universities. 54 years may separate them, but there's a certain similarity between DrewPavlou and Bob Katter when it comes to capturing people's attention.
This is a man that wrestles crocodiles, really. He's, tough bloke.
The two Queenslanders love a sharp turn of phrase.
You sell your soul for a bowl of porridge?
And now both share grave concerns about Chinese interference on Australian university campuses.
That is the emblem of the Queensland University. But it now represents a bunch of cowards.
Last Sunday, we exposed the ugly underbelly at the University of Queensland. When Drew organised a rally on campus in support of democracy in Hong Kong, he and his friends were set upon by a horde of pro-communist heavies. People that attacked you, did they look student age or did they look like ring-ins?
They were much older than, student age.
Since then, Drew's been a target for Chinese nationalists.
I will hire a killer through the deep web and then kill your family.
Not only have there been hundreds of sickening threats against him and his family.
Believe me, we will find you out. Don't let us see you on the street. We will shoot you.
He's also been singled out by the Global Times, China's media mouthpiece.
I'm not some mastermind Bond, 007 CIA secret operative. I'm just an Australian uni student.
Rather than coming to the defence of a student who's under attack, the University of Queensland stands accused of siding with China. Its links to Beijing certainly run deep. UQ is home to the Confucius Institute, which until this month was funded by the Chinese Communist Party. It's also honoured China's Consul General in Brisbane, Xu Jie, with the role of adjunct professor. The cosy relationship is a concern for many on campus, including academic Dr. Patrick Jory, who bravely spoke out against his employer. Are you comfortable with how close your university is to China?
No, I'm not. My view of the Confucius Institutes is that it is part of a Chinese Communist Party foreign influence operation. This is how they operate. Close down any discourse about China that doesn't fit the Chinese Communist Party story. That's what they're about.
The university has suspended Drew until next year, insisting his punishment is not related to his activism, but to other charges of misbehaviour on campus and online. Drew's lawyer, Tony Morris QC, believes that's just a front for the university's true aim, to appease China by shutting Drew up.
They've locked themselves into this position where they are totally dependent on Chinese money. 20% of the income from UQ comes from Chinese students. China means everything to the university, to its budget, to its continued existence. And Queensland Uni is not going to allow anyone to overturn that apple cart.
The accusations against university management
Is the university tied to Chinese money?
No.
have this week sparked outrage. How's your week been, Drew?
It's been a good week. Overwhelmed with the tremendous support I've received since the last 60 Minutes show aired. Knowing that ordinary people are backing me, it gives me a lot more strength.
I simply could not believe what I saw in 60 Minutes.
But it's not just ordinary people standing with Drew. Federal MP Bob Katter is himself a former student at the University of Queensland. and is horrified by how it's treated one of its own.
Wherefore, freeing China.
During the week, he announced he'll be moving a motion in Parliament calling for an inquiry into foreign interference at Australian universities.
We will get to the bottom of why you, the Queensland University, punished a person for expressing his opinion in the public arena, and an opinion which every decent person on earth would agree with. They saw the brutal attack, they know it's there, and they've done nothing about it.
Do you think heads should roll at University of Queensland?
I think heads will roll. There's going to be a federal inquiry. I'm very confident we've got the numbers.
Bob and Drew may politically be the odd couple. Bob, the Conservative, and Drew leaning to the left. But they've certainly found some common ground here.
I'm determined to see that justice is done here, and that university will reinstate you. You're elected by...
The University of Queensland management are adamant they've done nothing wrong, but we often talk about the pub test. Do you think what the university has done in conjunction with China would pass the pub test?
I would not like to be a member of that university and walk into any pub in Australia. You would get the treatment that was meted out to that young fellow who showed immense courage and moral conviction. So I would strongly advise anyone associated with the leadership of that university not to go near where we Australians hang out.
You've lost a few battles along the way against the university, but is this the first time it feels like perhaps you could be winning the war?
Yeah, the first time it feels like we're winning the war. And for the tide to turn so swiftly as well. You know, this time last week, you know, I was in bed and couldn't get out of bed. I was so depressed. I thought it was all over, that I thought they had gotten away with this unethical behaviour. I thought they would do it again to other students. And now to have, you know, powerful politicians calling for a full inquiry makes a world of difference. I truly believe we're going to win this battle, you know. Justice will be done.